Hello there. Glad you're looking over my website today. Something special to talk to you about if I can. I've written a new book and I want to tell you all about it. I've enjoyed the background of being a publisher. I've published some 25 books. You can find on our website. Well, when you look at the lisbonpress.com, I've also written 5 books, just finished my 5th book. Many of you have read recent books that I've written, Justice Denied. I've got a copy of it right here in my desk in the corner right here. My first venture into writing about my run-in with the federal government. Wrote a cookbook, too, with the inspiration of Governor Jimmy Davis, great governor of Louisiana, who wrote You Are My Sunshine. It's called My Louisiana, whether it's called, remember the name of it. It's World Famous Squirrel Stew and Other Country Recipes that I wrote. Governor Davis loved to come by my office. We'd talk about cooking. He was quite a chef himself. Loved to cook possum and coon and squirrels and game recipes that he got me hooked on, and I write all about it here in my book. Wrote a fun book about the adventures of the alternative way of life in Louisiana that I've written about, that some of you have seen over the years. My new book is more, not an autobiography, not my life story, but it's a memoir of special events in my life. It's called Jim Brown, My Louisiana Odyssey. And what I've tried to do is touch the highlights of interesting events and interesting people that I met when I was in public life over all these years. And since that time, obviously I talk about politics, my highs and lows, meeting so many different characters in the political field, a lot of insights of governors that no one's ever revealed before, little tidbits that you really wouldn't know unless you had the personal relationships. So gambling with Governor Edwards on an airplane where he put me down quite a bit, and also my worst trips with him at the wheel of the airplane. Talking about Governor John McKeithen, I mentioned Jimmy Davis, governors right up to the present. I give some anecdotes and backgrounds about them. Also talk about presidents. I told Bill Clinton one time the best thing he could do would be to help me, would be to get out of Louisiana. A tongue-in-cheek funny story that I remember in those days when he was president. And I talked about lots of anecdotes about Richard Nixon and other presidents I met over the years. But it's just not politics. I also talked about other interesting attributes of living in what I think is the most interesting state in the country. If you look over the book, you'll see stories about music. You can't live in Louisiana without being touched by the interesting music, and so many great musicians I've had the chance to meet. I strum a bad guitar and banjo, and I tell you some of those experiences. Also talk about religion, my personal religious experiences and events that happened to me in Louisiana. I talk about art. That's my new hobby, trying to be a halfway artist. I'm not yet to be a Picasso, but I'm having lots of fun doing it. Talk about revenge. Should you get revenge of those who maybe have wronged you? And I talk in a long chapter about revenge. You also talk about writing. Would you like to be a writer? So I cover the gamut of what I think are interesting events in my life that I thought would be of greater interest to the average reader out there, both in Louisiana and throughout the rest of the country. Book's going well. You can get it on any number of sites. You can go to the major bookstores. You can go to Amazon. Again, the book is called My Louisiana Odyssey, a book that will be out officially October the 1st. So hope you'll take a look at it when reading it and give me your comments after you read it. You can order it by going just below this video site to the box below, and it'll show you just how to order My Louisiana Odyssey. Thanks for taking time with me, and I'll keep you updated as we go along with the book and other interesting stories coming up in the weeks to come. Take care.